One of the objectives of the Canadian Handicrafts Guild was to encourage and preserve any such crafts brought to Canada from other countries, and the Manitoba branch certainly embraced this commitment. In 1928, John Murray Gibbon, the publicity director of the Canadian Pacific Railway, asked for the assistance of the Canadian Handicrafts Guild in organizing a handicraft section of the new Canadian Folksong and Handicrafts Festival that was being put on by the CPR in Winnipeg that summer. Gibbon, along with 3 members of the Guild, traveled to Winnipeg to form a Manitoba branch to execute this project. Thus, on February 2nd of 1928, a Manitoba branch of the Canadian Handicrafts Guild was established. Gibbon saw this festival as a way to show the British Canadian establishment that the new Canadians had much to offer, and all cultures and ethnicities should be celebrated and their traditions preserved. Numerous nationalities were represented at the festival, and it turned out to be a huge success. Participants dressed up in traditional costumes and exhibited the work of their nationalities through craft, music, and dance. Soon after its establishment, 14 ethnic groups became members of the Manitoba branch. The importance of these national groups is evident because by 1940, 11 of the groups were still affiliated with the branch. These national handicraft groups were encouraged by the branch to study their own crafts and designs, to work and teach, and to promote their craft among themselves and new generations. This bell pull was designed and embroidered by members of the embroidery group from the Manitoba branch. It displays a variety of ethnic embroidering techniques that were taught at the Guild and showcases the cultural diversity in Manitoba and how this diversity was embraced by branch members. Due to its important meaning and its unique design, it was awarded special mention at the Canadian National Exhibition. It includes hardanger embroidery from Norway, Jacobean and crewel from England and East India, Hungarian embroidery from the Transylvania area, and Ukrainian embroidery from the Bukovina area. The commitment made by the branch to encourage and preserve crafts from all nationalities resulted in a permanent collection with crafts from various ethnicities representing all kinds of cultures. This square cloth was a design adapted by Milton S. Osborne and was embroidered by the British group of the Canadian Handicrafts Guild sometime in the 1930s. This is a traditional Czechoslovakian shirt that was most likely meant to be worn as a wedding blouse. Branch President Gladys Chown had supposedly worn this blouse, however not on her wedding day. This is an example of a Polish runner that was embroidered in cross-stitch. This Swedish tapestry was purchased by the Guild in 1933. It illustrates the parable of the 5 wise and the 5 foolish virgins. This mat depicts a Ukrainian design done in cross-stitch. And this blonde-haired doll is dressed in a long purple gown that is an example of traditional Icelandic dress. Finally, this doll is dressed in a traditional Hungarian costume. Her costume was made using a mix of machine-sewn, hand-sewn, embroidering, and crochet techniques. The Crafts Guild of Manitoba wanted to maintain the historical background of Manitoba, but they were also committed to preserving crafts brought into Manitoba from other countries. This commitment ensured the cultural diversity we are so lucky to have access to today.